Coach, for the coach, for the coach, for the coach. Welcome to the Culture Marauders. One culture, one blood, one love. Woo! Woo!
Yo, peace, fellow Marauders. I hope everybody's doing well out there. It's your good buddy Kellz back again with another fresh episode of the Culture Marauders podcast, the show where we maraud on all culture and deliver the goods to you, the masses. Hey, we got another super dope episode for y'all. The guests keep getting better and better, as we're progressing. Season 4 is French, chef's kiss right there. We're picking up. We got award winners on here. There we go, looks. So we've got some heavy hitters gracing our screens, gracing the mic here, and it's only getting better. We're having a great time. As we always say, if there's something that you want to maraud on, hit us up. And lo and behold, our two guests here today are people who took us up on that offer, and they're here today. But before we get down to business, I'm going to hit y'all with the Marauder Minute. All right. So, Marauder Minute today. So, coming from the National Center of Education Statistics, if you follow the news or anything like that, you may have read that, according to our nation's report card, right, that is showing that COVID has impacted U.S. children's education within 4th and 8th grade levels, where they're falling behind in reading and even experiencing the largest ever decline in math. Those statistics are alarming. Granted, yeah, we've kind of always lagged, but for it to get to this point where we're at all-time lows, that's a really heavy stat that's out there. And I really don't know where the solution is. They say COVID and with COVID, my kids, like a lot of kids out there, your kids for listeners out there, they sat home during peak COVID, and had to learn from home, where parents had to become the de facto teachers of these kids. And, so now we're seeing, the results of that. With schools reopening and everything, there was a natural, lag in education, but we haven't seemed to pick that up, 2 years later. And now these statistics are coming out and showing. I think, personally, coming from your boy Kellz, I think it's a lot of, hands off. Kids who need additional help and additional resources weren't able to access those. And just due to burnout, a lot of teachers were burned out themselves. They were struggling with the workload on top of parents, trying to work and be teachers at home. And, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm terrible at math. So when it came to helping my kids with math, we struggled. And that's just being completely honest with you. As a kid, I wasn't good at math, but I loved to read. I picked up anything, Archie comics, ad magazines, choose your own adventure books. I love those things. Reading anything I get my hands on. I think today you don't really see so much of that. You do have kids, who are into, certain book series and things like that. My kids love the Bad Guys book series, and they're reading historical child biographies and things like that. So from a reading perspective, we value that here in the Kellz household. Rena and I with 4 little ones. But going forward, I really think whoever's the head of this next administration coming up, we're talking about midterms and all that stuff. I really hope they make a concerted effort to really drive the importance of education in our households and literacy within our children. So now that I'm off my soapbox, y'all, I kind of gave y'all a little bit of idea of what we're marauding on today, and that's diversity in literature, right? So joining me, y'all, now check it out. Here we go. Joining me are my guests, author Cathy Goldberg-Fishman and award-winning illustrator Melanie Hall of the In the City book series. What's up, Cathy and Melanie? Welcome to the Culture Marauders podcast.
Hi.
Hi. We're so glad to be here.
Thank you. Yeah,
thanks for having us.
I'm sorry?
Thanks for having us. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And thank you for reaching out. This is something that, we tend to see in our bookstores and stuff, but I've never had the opportunity to actually speak to the author and illustrator of, books that are diverse and meant to, teach and educate and show us that, we're all the same at the end of the day. So thank you. But before we get to those conversations, we got this little bit of business we got to get to called our icebreaker questions, right? So fellow Marauders, as you know, anybody and everybody that comes on this show, friends, family, foes, whatever, you always have to go through the icebreaker questions. So lady, I have I got 4 cards here. All right. So these are from the One's Gotta Go pack, where it's, I'm going to read 4 options off of 1 card. You got to get at least 3 out of the 4 correct. And then, we're good to go with the show. You get 2 or 1, we're going to cancel it. I'm going to go eat some steak and rice, and then we're going to go,
Oh no!
we're going about our meal.
The pressure is on.
Yeah, the pressure. Oh,
I'm glad you recognize that, Kathy, because this is a pressure-filled moment here. All right.
Yeah.
So,
All
but I
right.
got faith you ladies are going to knock it out. So yeah, let's get to it. So who wants to go first? Who wants to answer the first question?
I'll go.
Oh. All right. I saw Melanie's hand go up first, so I'll go. I'll go. Melanie. All right. So, all right. One's got to go, Melanie. Never to be heard from again, never to be seen again, never to be tasted, eaten, as if it didn't exist. All right. One's got to go. Ice cream, brownies, chips, or cookies.
Brownies.
Really? That was quick. That was really quick. Are you just not a brownie fan?
I'd rather have chips.
Hey,
You're a salty kind of person.
What's your favorite type of chip?
Oh, Cape Cod chips
Yes.
are my favorite.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have some of the jalapeno ones in my pantry right now. Love those things.
Love them. Yes.
All right. Ding, ding, ding. You're on the board. All right. Kathy, you can't let her down. She went through it. She answered it, fired off answer just like that. Now the pressure is solely on your shoulders. All right.
Oh, no.
Okay. One's got to go. Reality TV, documentaries, sitcoms, or miniseries.
I've got to say reality TV.
Okay. Why?
Because I don't think it's really reality.
No, it's not scripted, right?
That's right. And when the camera is on something, when something is being observed, it's not going to act naturally, which means it's not going to be real. So that's my choice.
Okay. So have you ever actually followed a reality show or actually watched them in any capacity?
I've watched The Bachelor.
Okay.
And I guess that's a reality show, or not. It is in real time, and it does follow a script of a bachelor trying to find a wife. So I guess that's a reality show. I just find it overly dramatic.
And they always hype it up with the most dramatic rose ceremony ever, and it's every episode. Everyone can't be the most dramatic, so I'm with you. I can't stand reality TV. I don't like American Idol. I don't like any of that stuff. It's just it's not for me. Okay, so I like that answer. So, all right, so 2 for 2. You ladies are rocking it. So who wants to take the one and bring it on home?
Ooh.
I'll do it.
Oh, okay. You want to do it, Kathy?
All right.
The floor.
All right,
Okay.
Kathy. Here it is. Bring it on home for the team. One's got to go. Your bed, your bathroom, your phone, or your laptop.
Oh, that's such a hard one.
They're not
Well,
supposed to be easy.
I'm gonna say my laptop has to go.
Okay. Why?
Because I can use my phone and do a lot of the things that I can do on my laptop.
There it is. Ding, ding, ding. I like that answer. And I was hoping you were going to go that route. So guess what, ladies? You won. I don't even have to go through the third question. But you know what? For Melanie, just to get on, you've already won. So we're going to go for bonus round.
All right.
Melanie, one's got to go. Cure for cancer, world peace, no world hunger, or no climate change or global warming.
That's a tough one because I'm invested in all of those. Oh my gosh. Climate change, hunger, and the other ones were
Cure for cancer, world peace, no world hunger, or no climate change.
Oh my god.
It's still hard even the second time.
That's tough. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, I want to say cure for cancer because I believe the world peace. we don't want to blow ourselves up, and which we're
No.
in danger of doing even as we speak. And climate change, things are getting dire.
Yeah.
In some places, and world hunger, in Africa, it's bad. There's Haiti, very bad.
A lot of the.
Yeah. So I have a comment on that.
Go ahead.
And this is a show about diversity.
Yeah.
And so why does one of those have to go?
Ooh.
I think all of those should stay, because that's what this show is about. Diversity, and that everything has an equal weight and equal respect. And that's why we're here. And
I like it. You know what? I knew when you got on, you ladies were going to bring something different. Nobody has ever challenged me back on that with these cards. They always pick one. So first time ever, fellow Marauds, you have heard somebody challenge Kellz back and shut me down. I literally have nothing to say to that. So congratulations. Really. You got the bonus question too. You ladies are officially Marauders going forward. You have the keys to the castle. Anytime you want to come back to the show and talk and just hang out, you're welcome. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to give you for winning, but
no, there's no button. I want a button that says I'm a member of the Culture Marauders.
Ooh, you know what? Ask and you shall receive. I will work on those. At least I can give those out at the end. All right, I like that. I'm going to write that down here in a minute.
Good.
All right, y'all. So look, Kathy and Melanie burn through this. Shut your boy Kellz down, and that's it, y'all. That's our icebreaker. We got the ladies ready to rock, and we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about diversity in literature. But before we get to that, hey, let's find out, how did you two ladies meet? Tell us a little bit about your backgrounds, and and we'll start with Kathy this time. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my background is in education. I got a Bachelor of Science in elementary education, and I've taught reading to grades 4 through 7. I taught kindergarten. I've directed daycare. And I've even taught college on a community college level in the learning support department. So I've seen kids from lots of backgrounds, all the way up from kindergarten to college students. So that's my background.
Okay. So lifelong educator, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Melanie, yourself?
Yes, I've always been an artist, and I was the kid in school that people would say, "Oh, can you draw me a horse?" And I draw a horse.
All right.
Nobody else could do it. And it's funny that I became a children's book illustrator, because I used to make my own little books when I was a little girl and illustrate them. And I would set deadlines for them too. It had to be out by a certain time. Yeah. So lo and behold, I became a children's book illustrator. It's just my favorite thing to do is to sit at my desk. I feel really content and grounded by doing my artwork. It's just, I couldn't do anything else.
Wow. That's cool. That sounds like a perfect partnership, right? Especially, for books, and especially for children's books. So how did you two meet and decide to collaborate?
I'll take this, Cat. Well, when we met through the publisher, because matching up a illustrator with an author is like Match.com. Well, it's a little more specific. We're matched together by the publisher, and the chemistry was really good. I like the way Cathy writes. There's a lot of imagery in the words that she chooses, and it's very lyrical. So over the years, we met, and we just started collaborating. I don't know, about like 3-4 years ago. 3 years ago, I would say.
Nice.
Right. You reached out to me and you said, "Kathy, please write me something."
Yes. Yes.
And you wouldn't let me wiggle out of it. I was very busy. I was teaching. I didn't have a lot of time. And Melanie kept coming back to me saying, "You've got to write something for me." And that's how this in the series books got started.
Oh, okay. So that was your first, your first collaboration together was the in the city series.
No, the first collaboration together was a Jewish holiday series.
Okay.
Published by Anthony.
Nice.
And in Simon and Schuster, division
yeah,
of Simon and Schuster.
yeah,
So
you're
that
talking
was
some
our
heavy
first
names there.
collaboration. Right. And many years passed and Melanie illustrated other books and I got busy with other projects until one day she called me on the phone and said, okay, it's time for you to start writing again. And after much hesitation and moaning and groaning on my part, we have a new series.
Nice. And we're gonna get into that. And you know, for the viewers, you know, I'm sorry, listeners, you can't see it, but we have a fall frolic in the city, and this is you know, written by Cathy and then illustrated by Melanie. And this is just one of the 4 books that they have within their In the City series. So we're gonna get to that here in a minute and discuss those. But I wanted to know, as far as the writing process, like, you know, just being a writer, because you said Melanie reached out to you and said, hey, it's time to start writing, and you were busy. What is that? How does that process come? Because I've threatened to write a book, you know, and it's not as easy as one would think, clearly, because I haven't written anything down. But to start that process, like, what does that look like? Like, how did you, you know, kind of sit here and focus yourself to start on this?
Well, first there's a lot of thinking, and there's a thinking process, and there's a lot of putting words down on paper and saying, oh, this does not work. And then you put more words down. And then it sort of gels. And you work from there. It's very difficult. That blank page is very difficult. But once I get a skeleton or once I get that idea, it's very easy to edit and erase. And so how I got the idea for the first book in this series, which was A Winter Walk in the City, was the knowledge that there are no books that cover the diversity of holidays in the winter. You can find a book on Hanukkah and you can find a book on Christmas, but where are books for Mawlid al-Nabi or Kwanzaa? They're just individual books, but that's not how the city is. The city is a big mesh of all the holidays. And so that's what makes this book special. I cover all of the holidays, and Melanie has illustrated them just beautifully.
Right. And from what I've seen from the pictures, that's exactly right on point, you know, where you say Melanie illustrates them beautifully. Melanie, I have a question for you. So in your part of the process, do you have to wait for Cathy to kind of give you that skeleton for you to kind of flesh it out with the pictures? Or do you wait till all the writing's done and then you go in and start illustrating from there?
I do wait until the manuscript is pretty much done. There might be some revisions later, but in the beginning was the word. That's my motto. So, you know, so Cathy's words, as I said, are so beautiful and lyrical. They're so rich. And what Cathy says is really true. There is a fear of the blank page, whether you're a writer or an illustrator, you know, one freezes. So I believe in not judging any kind of word, any kind of ideas that come in your head. You just like jot everything down, sketch it, and then you can edit later. And I do teach, and that's what I teach my students to do when they have to illustrate a manuscript. Don't guard the door. Let everything through, because we have the best computer right in our heads. There's so many ideas that are constantly flowing through. And so we can just like grab ideas and jot them down. And then voila, we fill up the page very organically and fluidly.
Very cool. And so jumping into the In the City series, so, you know, just talking about the richness and you know, of Cathy's words and your visions. So when you're receiving these, and we're talking about, you know, different, you know, holidays and diverse celebrations and stuff like that, Do you get a joy from doing these things? And is it a learning experience as you're illustrating these pages?
I do. Like, I didn't know about empanadas before.
Delicious.
A winter walk in the city, there's a what is that, Kathy? It's the
Yes, nine empanadas.
empanadas. Yes. And so empanadas, and I had to research it, like buy one so I could draw it. And then I tasted it, I went, oh my God, I love these. So now, my husband wants them like every week.
But
doing the research for these books was so much fun.
It is.
Really? So did you actually go out and research and like find some empanadas to try, just so you have an idea of what you're putting in these pages?
My daughter and I made some empanadas for a holiday dinner. So one thing that I grew up with was sharing holidays. Mm-hmm. And when I had kids, we continued that. So even though we're Jewish and celebrate Hanukkah, we share Christmas with another family. My daughter decided, okay, our job is to make dessert. And so one year we made a fruit empanada for dessert. And it was so much fun to make.
Oh, that sounds good. Did you see? I would imagine it to be, and I've had empanadas. I got some great chef friends here in the city who make an awesome empanada. But for those, did you use like an apple or like a cherry type of food empanada?
We made pear empanadas.
Oh, okay, nice, very nice, man.
But some empanadas are savory, and so it's like a meat pie.
Yes, that's exactly what we had. We had it was like a ground beef and like peas and potato. Oh, so good, so good. And my chef friends, shout out to Chef Ricardo out there. He makes a 72-hour croissant, and I haven't had a chance to try it, but from what I've heard, it basically like dissolves in your mouth.
Oh.
My mouth is watering.
I know, and this is diverse, right? So him and his wife, both chefs, they're from Puerto Rico, and so these are some of the diverse foods that we've had, and that, just sharing that, and it's just, the world is such a beautiful place, and it's crazy that we have people who are so close-minded that you don't take advantage of all these great things, these foods, these cultures, the music, the fashion, all these great things the world have to offer, and we just don't, So that's why I think your book is so important, because it exposes children, who may not have these other opportunities to learn about different holidays. So your latest that's coming out, or probably is either just coming out or coming out here soon, A Fall Frolic in the City. Tell us about that book.
Melanie, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. That is the same. It was interesting. The publisher wanted me to repeat pretty much the same scene on all the covers, but so I used the same buildings, and the I just changed the palette a little bit. So this is more of a fall palette with the warm colors.
Yes.
And so in the character, I want to talk about the character.
Yes.
There's a newscaster that I really love, Yamish. This character is a biracial little girl, and she explores the city with her friends, and so she's always like fast walking through the city and discovering all these wonderful celebrations and people, dancing and sharing, and so it's really a joyous book. It's a feel-good book, really.
Yeah, and I'd imagine
some of the holidays that we did for the
yes, that's what I would ask.
Right. Yeah. We started out with to celebrate fall to begin with. Then what is fall? Leaves coming off of the trees and children jumping into piles. And you can see the diversity of the children from different cultures right off the bat.
Very cool.
And one of my favorite illustrations is for Rosh Hashanah. On Rosh Hashanah, apples and honey So we have 2 baskets of apples, and we've got a little redheaded boy wearing a kippah, and he's wearing glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that. Very
so
cool.
Melanie just brings that diversity right up front. And again, we emphasize culture with calaveras for the Day of the Dead.
That's my wife's birthday, and she's half Hispanic. So
Wow.
She's got a birthday coming up here soon.
Yeah, that one was really fun to do because when you're an illustrator, you learn about all kinds of things. I didn't really know about the candy skulls and all that, the calaveras. And it's so fun to research that.
And you're learning while you're creating. That's the truth. Yeah, it's a constant learning.
Exactly. That's what it's like.
And that's the important thing. And what you learn about and what you're exposed to, you're not afraid of.
No, and that's it. And a lot of the times it's just communication, right? I think a lot of the world's issues can be solved with just effective communication, taking time and just having a conversation with somebody in order to understand them better. And what I like about what you're showing me with these books is that, you have people from all different walks of life, right? And kids, when they open up that book, they're going to see themselves in that page. It may not be the first page, but somewhere in that book, they're going to see themselves in there. And that's what makes it so powerful.
Right.
That's true.
That's what we hope. That's what we wanted to do.
Good. Very cool. Hey, if you guys want to learn something like, you can learn in the city book series, you can also learn how to podcast. Or, if you don't want to, edit, like a lot of people don't want to do with their own podcast, hit us up at www.theculturemarauders.com, home of the Drop the Mic podcast experience. Like I said, where if you don't want to edit, you don't want to do the pre-production, post-production, all you want to do is talk on the mic and drop it. We pick it up from there, edit, and spin out a really, really good product for you to showcase and share with the world. Or if you're just somebody who's curious about podcasting and want to learn, we can do that too. So hit us up at theculturemarauders.com for more information. All right. So, So go ahead. I'm sorry.
There is one thing that you said at the beginning, which I think is really good. It's really important for families to read books together, and that'll help get kids to get in the habit of reading. So all these books have the same theme. If they're counting books from 1 to 10. So as the parents are reading or the kids are reading aloud to each other, they're learning how to count. And then they're also learning about their neighbors. So it's a rich experience, but it's so important for families to read together.
Right. And I agree. And in addition to the counting and looking at the different people, you also have the warm and vibrant colors that, that either associate, with fall, spring, winter, summer. It's a whole palette of different colors for kids to be introduced to, so and that's another way to share that experience with your family. Mom, Dad, what's this color? What shade of blue is this? So it's a constant learning experience. And my hat's off to both you ladies for creating such a unique and cool, work to share with the world. So thank you for that. So we got one more topic. So Melanie, you just mentioned it, sitting and reading and, reading with the family and with the kids. I think today, and as I mentioned in my Marauder Minute, I don't think we're doing a lot of that today. I think, there's a lot of distractions with television. You have shows that never end, channels that are running shows all day, TikTok, YouTube, and I'm guilty of it sometimes by allowing my kids just to kind of sit and veg out. But now we make it to where when they come home, there's dedicated reading time every single day, So what are your takes and your thoughts on social media's effect on literacy?
Oh yeah, definitely. I see if kids don't read, I see that spelling is atrocious now. Grammar is unbelievable. Like even newscasters don't
professionals, right?
Grammar. It just drives me crazy. It's one of my pet peeves. Like they say, my brother and I, instead of saying my brother and me, they don't know how to distinguish. But if people read, their vocabulary improves. There's more eye brain coordination. They calm down. One thing that publishers are pushing now, they have to, is that books are shorter because kids' attention spans
Yes.
shorter.
Yes.
And
Right.
that's kind of scary.
I know, and I agree. I read that the average person's attention span is like 8 minutes now. So that's why we always see there's something new. It's always something to get our attention because we, by just throughout time and with the evolution of technology and everything, is always something in your face to kind of keep you distracted. So what do you think, Kathy?
I have a little bit. I have a different take on this that might be a little more optimistic. I remember when I was growing up, teachers would moan and groan that kids weren't reading enough and that comic books were just ruining the kids because all they wanted to do was read comic books. Mm-hmm. One of the best series of comic books is Classics Illustrated. Mm-hmm. And just reading those comic books brought a lot of children into literature because after reading that comic, they wanted to read the real thing. And so my hope is that through social media being exposed, even with short clips of classic literature or whatever new books are coming out, that kids will want to go to the bookstore or to the library and read those books. And when I do book signings, I see people in bookstores and children buying books. That brings me hope. And my 4-year-old granddaughter just got her library card. My daughter and I took her to the library in Raleigh, North Carolina, right after her 4th birthday and signed her up for a library card. And she was so proud. And I made her a special needlepoint book bag to put her library books in so that she has something to put them in. So I think reading is still something that most kids enjoy doing. And books are here to stay, whether it's on an iPad or on your iPhone or a real book or however we do it. And things have to live. And when things live, they change. And we are in a time of great change. But I think that reading is still going to be part of our future, and books are still going to be part of our future. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. All right. And you ladies do it well. You do it very well. So, and you know what? You just answered my next question about, where do you think what do you think we're going to look like in the future? And you said that books are here to stay. It may be in a different format or, a different platform, like you said, your Kindles, your ebooks and stuff like that. But I agree. When it came time to teach my youngest, because he wasn't really into books at first, but he loved comic book characters. So we took him to the comic book store and let him pick out some books, because at the end of the day, you're still reading. It may not be, a Berenstain Bears book or anything like that, but you're still reading. So I agree. I strongly agree. Mm-hmm. So thank you, ladies, so much for your time and for sharing your works and the inspiration behind it. It's been a lot of fun. So there's a couple more business items we got to get to before we let you get out of here. Drop a gem on them. You got any tips of the trade or any words of wisdom for the fellow Marauders out there? Oh,
yes. Yeah, just what I said before. Read aloud with your kids and, go to the library. I love what Cathy said, like go to the library. Mm-hmm. That was my favorite activity when I was a kid. Well, besides going to the beach, but but to come home with a big pile of books was like, oh my God, it's like Christmas.
Or book fair day. I love book fair day.
Yeah. Just very opens cool. up new worlds.
Right. What do you got for us, Cathy?
Well, I would say follow your dreams. If you want to be a writer, you have to have something to write about. Go research it. You can research in the library. You can research on Google. That's reading. Follow your dreams and don't give up.
All right. And so for a person like me who's thinking about, starting a book, and, my wife and I, we have a couple of ideas. about, you know, what we want to do. But you know, for a person like that, what would you recommend? I know you have follow our dreams, and we have content, but as far as like, you know, how do we get that out there? How do we get started? Can you give me a little words of wisdom on that?
Making sure that you sit down and that you write a little bit every day. You don't have to finish it all at once.
Yeah.
You can sit down for 5 minutes and write 2 sentences.
Okay.
But just get it on paper and go from there. Don't edit yourself as you're writing. Just keep going. Because if you become a self-editor, you're going to talk yourself out of what your focus is. So just keep on writing. And then when you feel like you've got a beginning, a middle, and an end, then you go back and bring your editor out. Did you really say what you wanted to say? And get some people to read what you've written. But don't. The important thing is to sit down in a chair and to actually do it.
Okay.
That is.
And do a little bit every day.
All right.
And don't give up.
Okay. I was hoping you were going to give me an easier answer, but I'll do it. I will.
There are no easier answers. I will say that it took me 7 years to get my first book published.
Okay. All right.
So there is no fast food process as far as writing goes. You've got to pay your dues and go through the motions.
Okay. And I imagine it's far more rewarding at the end, you know, when you see the fruits of your labor, you know, come up. So no, I'm with you. It's just I gotta find the time. That's the thing. I gotta find the time.
Well, I know it.
Yeah. And the same thing for artists or people that are creative. Just sketch a little bit every day. Even if you like draw your cat, you know, draw your foot, anything just to keep the juices flowing.
Good.
Very important.
Very cool. Very cool. And fellow marauders, you're hearing it from two creators yourself. This is what we showcase on the show: people with stories and creators. And you got two of the finest ones out here with Cathy and Melanie. So, ladies, thank you. If you guys are out, where can they find the books?
Oh,
well, at your favorite bookstore.
Yeah.
I would go to your favorite bookstore, and if they don't have it on their shelves, then ask them to order it.
All right. So there it is, the In the City series, fellow marauders. Check it out, Barnes and Nobles. You know, like she said, your favorite bookstores. If not, I'm sorry.
Independent,
or go to our websites. I have links to bookstores on my website.
Okay, and this is the website that we flash up right here, right?
Yes.
All
and
right.
You can see pictures of my grandkids.
I seen that. I saw that. The whole family. Yeah, very cool.
Right.
Very cool.
Right.
All right. So we got a couple of social media spots where you can catch Melanie and Cathy. So we have, in order to get a hold of Melanie, you have at @m_hallart, and then for Cathy on IG at Cathy.Goldberg.Fishman, and then you can catch Melanie on Facebook also. That's a very long handle, so I won't read that one out, but I'll put it in the show note. And then also catch Melanie also on LinkedIn. And then if you just want to reach out to Cathy, here's her information scrolling across the bottom. Email Cathy at CathyGoldberg-Fishman.com. All right, y'all. So before we let you ladies get up out of here, got any shout outs or thank yous that you want to throw out to, you know, anybody who supported or anybody out there, just anyone in the world?
Well, I have to thank Melanie for calling me and saying, please write something for me.
That's good.
And all her support.
Back at ya.
And Curtis, thank you so much for having
Well,
us.
you're wonderful. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be on your show.
Hey, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.
Good energy.
Good. I told you it'd be fun. I told you. I didn't have anything to pay you or give you for winning the Marauder Challenge or the Icebreaker, but one thing we're going to have is fun on this show. So I'm glad you did.
It was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Really fun.
All right. Cathy Goldberg-Fishman and Melanie Hall, thank you so much.
Thank
Best of luck with the series. Is there anything coming out after this? What's coming up next?
Ooh, we're working on another series and an older reader book.
Okay.
I can't talk about yet.
Another
All right, all right. Well,
street, probably for around the world rather than just in a city.
nice, very nice,
Diversity around the world.
very cool. And make sure you come back and talk to us about it when you ladies get that up and running.
Thank you. Will do.
All right. Got something that you want to maraud on? Hey, there's a number of ways to hit us up, just like these ladies did. So follow us on Instagram at _culture_marauders. Like us on Facebook at The Culture Marauders, and email us, right, at theculturemarauders@gmail.com. And then go check out our website. As always, we have the newsletter. We have, we showcase our creators and our affiliates. If you're looking to get something done, we got people to help you out. Or if you just want to say, hey, what's up, Kellz? Hey, I want to talk about this, or I think this would be a good topic. Hey, the sky's the lit. We can work. So, and, just make it happen. And we're here to help you and get your voice heard and showcase you. A lot of great creators out there like these ladies here. And we just want to work with you and just tell your story. So again, thank you, Melanie Hall and Cathy Goldberg-Fishman. Best of luck to you. And as always, one culture, one blood, one love. Peace.